years, 60 commercials. He has a hit song, #1 hit song in Japan. He's been a star of the ABC TV show that most of you are familiar with called Webster. He's a guest star in countless TV shows, toured and performed for troops with Bob Hope. He's committed to the veterans and uplifting them, motivational speaker and commencement speaker. A few awards that he's received: the Clio Award, People's Choice Award, 3 consecutive years. He's received multiple keys to multiple cities, and he is very involved in community service awards. He has membership in SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, CAU Players, Atlanta Business League. He's a member of W.C. Thomas Lodge number 112, and he serves as our Commander-in-Chief for the Atlanta Consistory number 24A, Commanders of the Right. A few organizations. He's involved as a board member at Fort Valley State University, Brian Jordan Foundation board member, National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame board member, and TWD Foundation board member. Some of his hobbies include fishing. He's a private pilot. He has a black belt in karate, scuba diving, and skiing. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the podium none other than Mr. Emmanuel Lewis. He's got a black belt in karate, so I ain't gonna mess with him about his vertical challenge.
Oh, I like this. Y'all may not be able to see me. That's all right by me. All right.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh. Put it where you can get it is what they tell me.
I tried to know.
Oh my goodness. Well, obviously I have to first thank my noble brothers over here. It is obviously a pleasure being here with my illustrious potentate, Andre Rodman, and all the other brothers and sisters and daughters of this fine organization. It is always a challenge to work something out of my schedule because I'm always going and coming and going. But it is obviously an honor to be here for you and most importantly for you. I love having the opportunity to turn this down just a bit. I love having the opportunity to come out and speak when we can, and give whatever bit of knowledge, experience that I may have. I always say that all that I know can fit inside of a thimble, but if a piece of that thimble you can use for you, then go right ahead. The theme, which I thought was very, very clever, was train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And I just think that that is so me. That is so me because, you know, I started at a very early age. I mean, I guess, think about the size of these guys, the age of these guys. I started so young, and it was, I guess, a career choice that I made so early. I didn't even bat my eye at it. It was just something that I did instinctually, as if I knew something, you know. And my mom went along with it, which was even stranger, because she never agrees with me. So I just thought that that was very, very interesting that, you know, we hit on something that was so real. And it was, it just worked. I mean, you know, when you're in the will of God, it just worked. I am a product of a single parent. I'm the father to none, and but I played very instrumental roles in rearing the life of my niece and nephew. I'm a man that believes that the power of one can move the power of many. And that's the reason why I sit on so many boards, and why I started my own nonprofit organization, because, you know, we all have ideas. Each and every one of us have ideas, things that we want to do, things that we thought, you know what, maybe if we just did this, that would work. Maybe that little piece could be added to something else, and it could happen. And so I just decided that I'm just not going to let those concepts and ideas just go to the wayside. I'm not going to just say it in my head and then I don't never act on them. I wanted to be more proactive in some of the things I did. So I said, all right, I want to start a foundation. Future Begins Now is the name of my foundation. I want to start it under the premise of how I got started. But we'll talk about that in a second. I've been blessed since the early, I guess, the chapters of my life. I call it my life book, which is, nowhere near as done yet. And I stand before you to tell you that I'm building on the foundation that was instilled to me by my mother, and the legacy that she wanted to create. Nothing in particular, but that we do the best we can. My mom would say stuff like, babe, whatever you put your mind to it, you can do it no matter what it is. And she sold it so well, I believed it. You know, I before Spud Webb came in, I could be the Spud Webb, you know what I mean? You know, whatever it is, she said that, you know what, babe, if you just put your mind to it and you believe, you can do it. And I just never thought that there was anything that I couldn't do. I really believed that, you know, if I put my mind to it and I prayed on it, it was mine. And that's what she gave me. That was what was instilled. So when I go back and I read that to train up a child in the way the child should go, and when he's old, he will never depart from it, I'm thinking, that's us. That's us. See, what you guys don't know is my mom, you know, she was an usher in church. So we stayed in the church all the time. All the time. With a D-E. You know, we were there Friday, Saturday, Sundays, you know, throughout the week, and she had to do the rehearsals, and it's the same walk, and they know what they need to do with the glove and and Pentecostal. Y'all know what I'm saying. So it was amazing, but you know, I ministered in play. You know, Johnny Washington back in the day was serious, and you know, he wanted perfection. So it was great, but you know, while you're there, you know, you ain't gonna mess around in church. You know, you got the deacons, everybody, you know, guardians. You know, everybody watching out. The other ushers, the deacons, the members. You know, we had godparents appointed to us by the church. That's how it was back in the day. You know, this isn't like nowadays. You know, you go and get your assistant brother, best friend, and all that. No, we got appointments, or we didn't know who these people were, but you know, it's mother this or mother that, and that's how that was. But that was rearing. You know, that was rearing. That was realizing that, you know, you're trusting another power. You know, of course we trust our pastor and the direction he's saying, you know, this is the mother of the church, this is one of the deacons of the church, and those were my godparents. Strange people, but they were great people. and you learn a lot. You learn a lot from these people, and they're a part of your life. It's great for Easter, you know. You love that. but I'm a living witness to that scripture. I love that no matter how close me and my mother are and were, that even when she punished me, you know, most people were more afraid of the punishment, you know, the corporal punishment, the beatings, the belt or whatever. You'd be more afraid of that. That was not really what I was afraid of as much. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I feared my mother more than any other human being on earth. Father as well at the time, and but I just feared being out of her favor. You know what I mean? And that came from a lot of time that she put into my life. It wasn't just fear for, you know, what was going to happen, but I would disappoint her. And I think, you know, what now, in today's time, we forget that that comes with putting that physical, psychological time in with that child. TV can't raise them. You know, neighbors and babysitters can't raise them. Mom and them needs to do the raising. And all the time that we had, we put it together. When we had, you know, dinner at the kitchen table, there wasn't TV on.
That's right.
You know, it was us having real conversations. How many people still do that today, where there's no other distractions? No, we gonna get to know each other today, on this day, at these hours. And until food is done, there's not gonna be any fast eating. You're gonna slow down and you're gonna take your time, and we're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna find out what's going on in your head and in your world. And that's where we had, that's where she understood us. And there was no gap, there was no age gap. We weren't talking about, you know, how